Hey, what's up, people? Here's another update. Finding a mouse with a little ball on the bottom was pretty hard. I actually looked everywhere, asked around at work, went to my library with a plan to steal one, shamelessly, and got torn down when I saw that even my fucking university library had upgraded to the goddamn optical one, so I could not find it anywhere. So I resorted to Craigslist. I could not find the mouse being sold. So you know what I did? I actually bought a computer for $10. It was ancient. This thing has a couple gigs of and a hard drive, like a couple. I'm not saying 10, a couple. It's pretty sad. The monitor actually, I might just put that on my desk and connect my laptop to it to get bigger screen. And it came with a keyboard and speakers. It was a good deal for $10. I would have paid $10 for the mouse. Well, here we go. Here's the mouse I got. I already brutalized it. Hacked it pretty well. It took a while. I'm gonna post the links to the two guides I use as references, even though I completely ignore them. They explained to me what each part was, but this one was a lot smaller than the ones in the example, so the soldering was much harder, and I still have not been able to figure out how to hack the left, right, and scroll buttons. So right now it's a mouse, or that's what I expect. I don't know if this is a special mouse that has issues or is racist, but this thing hooked up to the computer in there. Well, you're never gonna see it. Does not respond for some weird reason. I thought it had done some weird soldering, and so I went to the old computer, oldie, and plugged it in, and it worked. Actually, on the first try, I soldered everything well. I was impressed with myself, but I don't understand why it does not read it. Maybe because it's a newer PC. This one was running Windows 2000. This is XP. It's not that big of a difference. It should work. Then I went and got an old optical mouse, ironically, that I'm lying around that actually had the PS2 connections like the other ones, and it does not work. Meaning it's not the mouse that fucked up, it's my PS2 mouse button that's broken, input, whatever it is. That I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but that motherboard actually used to be like sit in my living room at part of my entertainment center, so I had all my digital media. It would be on all the time. So I went on vacation for 2 months, forgot to turn it off. Came back, something was wrong, couldn't figure it out. When I started my main project, I became a little nerdy and figured out what the problem was. I think it's a combination between the power supply being underpowered and the motherboard being overheated and burned a little. The solution was me tearing everything from the motherboard. Nothing could be plugged in. I couldn't even plug in the fucking CD thing. Try installing Windows without a CD. It's a dig and a half. I had to install Linux off a USB, and then I had to get then when Linux was running on USB Linux, plug in my external hard drive and install that. It was such a bitch and a half figuring that out. It sounds easy, but it was a bitch. But I rambled on. I'm sorry. That was just me to explain that this computer is fucked up, and every time I find a problem, I'm surprised. I still have not. I try to keep this cheap because I said to myself, it was free. You should not spend too much money on this. And besides, you don't even like trackball games that much. But if you have it, you should install it. That's my weird way. I can't stand it, but if I have it, I must install it immediately. So I went online, went on eBay, and got myself a PS2 to USB. I hope that'll solve it, because I've had 3 or 4 mouse. Most of them have been wireless, plugged into USB, and they work perfectly. That's how it's been since I started my main project. I never even thought of putting the old PS2 to test. So I bought it on eBay. It'll be here. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I'm sad when I think about that, so I'm not gonna think about it too much. You know how eBay is. They say 2 to 3 days. I wait 2 weeks or 2 years. Sadly, this house was actually clean. I was so happy when I finished my control panel, because I could say I'm going to be able to clean my house again. But no, he just had to give me this little trackball to mess with my mind, so I had to work all day and mess it up. But it's wired, it works. I'm not a fan, but if you are a fan of the trackball, put the links up on the side so you can hack it yourself. It's relatively easy. It was at most 5 solders. Well, 6 solders. It was simple, fast, and you'd be surprised how simple it is. I don't know if I'm gonna wait a little longer for my update this time, because my last update's gonna just be, hey, the thing is here and it works, yay, and it being installed. I might do an update, me making the first hole right there, but for now, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna record it just in case I cut myself, stab myself, or burn myself again, which has happened way too many times with this project. I have had 3 burns, electrical burns, 2 solder burns, cut myself plenty of times, had some pretty serious splinters in my hand, and overall, oh yeah, and I almost poked my eye out with a little piece of wood when I was sawing this control panel. So, if you're gonna ever build a main cabinet, be committed, because it will drain your life and your wallet. But if you're actually building one, you should really like arcade games and Nintendo and all that, because it's fun as hell. I'm still gonna enjoy myself doing this. Sorry for rambling on. I hope you logged out way back.